Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Monday. So it's stuff from the back end of Friday all the way to like the first half of Monday. So I have to go through this kind of as quickly as possible. There's like about 30 items, so it's been pretty good. All right, the first thing is a lot of 100 L5R Legend of the Five Rings trading cards right here. These are going to be like older ones. This is a really cool game. There's a bunch of different like factions, and then there's like a general commander that they all have to like try to appease and stuff. So there's a lot of like alliances, a lot of betrayal, a lot of lore to this game. This is a stack of like, I think honestly this could have rares in there. It's really hard to tell. I listed these a long time ago. These ended up selling for $19.44 plus shipping. I show a picture of all the cards, so that's why people know. Like I fan them out so they can read the names, not with the full art and stuff. All right, next up is going to be a game card called Cardinal right here. I think this is this a German one? Yeah, this is a German like stacking game right here. It says Spielgut up there. Yeah, let me see what this is like. It's just a bunch of different, like, there's the rule books. There's even like an English one. Bunch of different, like, I don't really want these to pop out. I guess different like shapes and sizes. So you're probably going to be scoring points and stacking stuff. That end up selling for $15. We do pretty well with like the foreign board games. I always grab them when I see them. All right, next up is going to be a hardcover book. Sorry, I have stuff all over the place. This is going to be Fire in the Lake. I don't know anything about this one. Francis Fitzgerald right here. It's a hardcover without the dust jacket. That's okay. I mentioned that, and obviously the pictures show that it doesn't have it. This ended up selling for $8. We get books pretty cheap, so I do enjoy listing and selling them. All right, next up is going to be Goosebumps right here. The Haunted Mask Part 2. So yeah, I remember a lot of these were on the TV shows, and there's been a new season of the newer Goosebumps, which ironically has Ross from Friends, not Ross me, but Ross from Friends, I think is one of the characters in it. We are going to watch it when we have time. We've just been busy with just like stuff like eBay and games and stuff like that. This sold for $7.49. This is the 7th edition. I actually know how to tell what edition, so obviously if it's not first, it's not as good, but there are like included masks and cards that can be in these, so I always keep an eye out for that. But you'll see, I think we sold another one. I think, no, it was on Friday we sold different Goosebumps books. So I'm thinking people are watching the show and wanting to see like what stuff lines up and is transparent from the show to the books or what's different. All right, next up is going to be a PC game. This one's Prison Tycoon right here. I never played this particular one. I played like SimCity and stuff like that, and Zoo Tycoon. I like that one. This one's prison one. So yeah, I'm not too sure if you're like in the prison or if you're like guarding it or something like that. This sold for $7.50. We do pretty well with the PC games. All right, moving along, we have some sleeves. These are very old vintage sleeves. I remember getting these like in the mid 2000s. These are red dragon eye, so it's like a red dragon with like a yellow or green eye. These are standard size. I originally had these listed as Japanese size when I first got them, and it was a mistake. I had a couple of issues for the first few that I shipped out. Then I actually opened up a packet because I don't like it to open up vintage stuff just to like test it out, because then it's open and kind of ruins the purpose of it. But I had to because I really thought that they were small Japanese size, and then I found out that they were standard size. Standard's going to be like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Standard. A lot of board games have standard size. This sold for $15 for a pack of 50. That's like out of print. It's really cool art design, so I do pretty well with like the old sleeves like that. All right, moving along, we have a War Machine. This is kind of like a pre-painted, it's like primed with red. This is a metal War Machine Kador. This guy's name is Manowar Kobnik. So yeah, like a metal figure. I don't know if this is a Warcaster or not. But yeah, someone spray painted it with black and then kind of did like a base coat of red. So this is like ready to play as is. It's pretty good, I guess. Like there's even like basing done on the bottom, or they can just like add details and it's good to go. That sold for $14.62. All right, next up is going to be some Lego Mixels. Never heard of Mixels until we got this. So it's like this little bat guy right here. Glowbert. Yeah, Glowbert. I like the name. It reminds me of my brother's cat, Rupert's. All right, this ended up selling for $16. That's pretty good for like a little Lego kit. I think Anna's mom gave that to us. I'm not sure where she got it. Sometimes she saw us going to yard sales, and she'll go to yard sales and just give us stuff that she gets cheap. All right. She's been a pretty big support for us in our eBay journey. All right, next up is going to be, we got some politics here, I guess. We've had this for so long. This is a join or die political shirt, libertarian shirt. So yeah, someone is thinking a lot about politics, obviously. So yeah, this ended up selling for $16.79. I looked at my listing. I made this probably like 4 or 5 years ago. This was when I was trying to do clothes, like just watching other people on YouTube doing eBay and stuff before we found our own niche. So yeah, that was a really bad listing. I'm surprised it sold, but $16.79. All right, moving along, we have some shower caps right here. The vintage, what company is this? The Vintage Cosmetic Company. I don't know anything about them. I think we also got this from Anetta's mom. This sold for $10. At first, she gave me this, and I was like, "Is this undies? Like, are you giving me undies?" I thought it was weird. She started laughing. She's like, "No, it's a shower cap." So I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like I said, she just gives us random stuff to sell on eBay. All right, moving along, we have a Lionel Union Pacific right here, plastic. This is just like the carts or cargo carts. It doesn't have the top. Sorry, I'm just like forgetting the particular uh, official name for this, but yeah, it's the bottom part. This sold for $14.99. We get a bunch of these like die-cast cars and plastic trains and stuff like that. They do pretty well. All right, moving along. I'm hoping there's no issues with this. It's a really cool book, a Winnie the Pooh book that like pops up. It's 3D. It's for kids. It's supposed to have sound. I put clearly in the description that the sound does not work. Batteries don't work. I tested it. It's still a really cool thing for like a kid to just like, there's a lot of movable parts. So if they're starting to be like kinetic and learning that way, and they just want to touch stuff, they can do that. So that's $7.49. All right, next up is going to be something that's pretty cool. I wish it could have sold for more, but there's a lot of them out there. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield Battle Styles. So this is going to Pokemon trading card game. This is going to be the Battle Styles set. So the packs look like that right there. So this is one of those little standees that like a store would have. They're supposed to put it like at their desk or something like that, or at the front. And then this little triangle pops out, so it stands there. So it'll be like, oh, hey, come get Battle Styles from us. So really cool, like promotional item. This sold for $20, which is still pretty cool. Someone can set that up in their room or something like that and have a cool like piece of Pokemon history, or at least that's what I think of it. All right, moving along, we have an IQ Fit Smart Games Logic Puzzle Brain Teaser particular game here. I really don't remember where we got this one, but it has like a bunch of these little like 3D things that you're supposed to move around and make like puzzles or fit them all inside. This ended up selling for $9. I actually get a bunch of like puzzle and small board games occasionally, so that's probably where that came from. All right, next up is going to be a combo order. It's for a miniature company called Rafm, R-A-F-M. I don't know if I'm saying it right. We have the Call of Cthulhu. These are like German bases for Call of Cthulhu, I guess, miniatures. I'm not sure, but that's the brand, I guess, also by Rafm. They have a lot of different, like probably sub categories of stuff that they sell. So yeah, there's like a German symbol on these. So these are going to be some kind of military miniature bases. And then there's like a baggie of 6 of these. They have like just a slot on them. They're like an inch. They're metal. And then there's like a little, what are those, like grates, as like a sewer grate or something. So someone wanted those particular bases. Together was $17.48. All right, moving along, we have a military book, Spearhead, 7th Armored Division, the Desert Rats, right here. I don't know anything about this particular one, but we get a lot of military books. This one's kind of like a trade paperback. This ended up selling for $6.59, so not one of our like higher end book sales, but like I said, we get those pretty cheap. All right, next up is going to be another primed War Machine Kador metal figure, Bombardier Bombshell right here. This was like a promotional one, I think, when I looked it up. So yeah, someone just took like a black spray paint and sprayed it all over, so it's primed so that it's ready to paint. So it's the primer lets the paint stick on better, like acrylic paint. That sold for $21.59. All right, next up is a really exciting order. This person orders from us a bunch way before we even did the channel. I don't think they watch. I don't, oh, I guess technically I don't know. These are going to be a lot of 6 Battlefield miniatures. They're labeled. This one's like IF1. We have IF3. They're like the infantry. I think they're like 15 millimeter, I want to say. I'm just taking a guess there because it doesn't say. IF4. And then there's IF7, 5, and 6. I'm not sure what the I stands for. Maybe Italian, like Italian infantry or something, but I'm not sure what the F is. Sometimes the labels are just like, so the stores would know how to price them, so it's not exactly an identifier. I think these end up selling for $119, which is really good. I had more of all of those, so I just like relisted them. All right, next up, we have a lot of 20 Rafm, like the company again. These are going to be like bits and pieces. It looks like there's just a bunch of, you probably can't see it, but there's going to be a bunch of like infantry. There's like a flag. There's like guns. I'm not sure if these are like complete or incomplete. There's some heads. So yeah, these were just like in a little baggie that I had, so I just looked them up. This sold for $10 to a repeat buyer. So yeah, I think there was a couple other repeat buyers that I forgot to mention, but we've been having good luck with those. I do keep mentioning we've having good luck with those. All right, next up is going to be a strategy guide book, Railroad Tycoon 3 Official Strategy Guide. I don't know why we keep selling the Railroad. I have trouble saying that. Tycoon 3, like just the Tycoon stuff, it's been doing pretty well. This sold for $14.99, which is like pretty good for like a strategy guide book, especially just for like a random game that's not like the most popular. All right, next up is going to be Gettysburg Civil War Battle Game 125th Anniversary right here. It's like a big box game. It's not necessarily like a bookcase game, but yeah, this one is going to be doing the Battle of Gettysburg, and you get to play both sides. This ended up selling for $42. I love these big box games. I haven't found rare ones like this in a while, but it was cool when I grabbed that one a long time ago. All right, moving along, we have a Star Wars Episode 1 Adventures game book, Capture Arwen. There you go. I'm not sure if I said that character right. This is a small little game book. These are cool. We got these with the Choose Your Own Adventures. Some of them are like game books, so you have a little character sheet that you can copy and print out from your printer if you don't want to mess with the book, and then you play like a little game with dice, and there's going to be rules, and there's going to be different choices you can make. This went to a repeat buyer. This sold for $9.99, so that's awesome. Next up is going to be a HeroScape figure, which is a miniature game. I think, who has it right now? Hasbro, I think, has it right now. This is a particular character called Master of the Hunt without the hexagon card. It's okay. You can always, if you have the cards laying around, you know the rules. The card has the rules on them, right? And then this particular character, a lot of these characters in the HeroScape would come in these like booster packs or starter sets, and they would have different universes and stuff. Like that's kind of like the point of the game, HeroScape, like this universe. This sold for $16. So even the individual figures. The cool things about these figures, excuse me, is when we pick them up, they look like really cheap, like plastic janky toys. So I know what HeroScape figures look like. So a lot of people pass up on these. And Anetta knows what they look like. She even grabbed them before she knew what they looked like. She found a bunch in Goodwill baggies a long time ago. So that was pretty good. She's like, oh yeah, they looked great. So I picked them up and we did well with it. All right, moving along, we have right here this little truck, 1995 New Ray police truck with transport, like little heavy duty, the hitch or whatever back here. So yeah, that clicks on. And then, yep, these did pretty well for us. Repeat buyer, $7.77. So lucky number 7. All right, next up is going to be a German card game. This is, let's see, Ramesh Pokrin. I'm probably saying that wrong. That's actually the German way to say it. It looks like a little roll and write game. So like a Yahtzee game where you're going to roll dice and then make decisions and then earn points on cards and stuff like that. And you'll have a little sheet to keep track of your points. This sold for $18. All right, next up is going to be some like 2 custom. These look like Treant figures. This person's probably going to honestly use it for Lord of the Rings. They're not exactly like Lord of the Rings Treants. They just look like it. Or for like an RPG right here. They did actually a really good job. It took me a little bit to figure out that these were just like someone designed and printed them right here. So yeah, they're a couple inches high. There's 2 of them. These sold for $11.24. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 15 wooden poker dice. I do pretty well with random dice, and then like I'll do little lots. These look pretty cool. Like I said, they're like a really light wood, so they're going to bounce well when you jiggle and roll them. These ended up selling for $14. All right, next up is E.S. Edmund Scientific Catalog right here from 1995. This is catalog number, was it 15N1? I don't know anything about this, but this is from the people. We got a bunch of catalogs and magazines and other stuff from their storage. This sold for $35.99 to repeat buyer. So maybe they've been keeping an eye out for whenever I do list these. I do kind of have like more of these spread throughout a bunch of like boxes of a lot of random stuff to go through, but it's a lot of heavy lifting from the storage unit back to here to list. So I've been working on some other stuff right now. All right, next up is going to be a little, what is this called? Christianing block to grow on child. So this is going to be like a little savings block. I think this is going to be religious themed as well. So my guessing is you make a savings for a kid and make like a little note for them and stuff like that. This ended up selling for $10. I think I got this at like a Goodwill a long time ago. I don't think it was like one of my best buys that I've ever done, but it's okay. It's still sold for $10. It's kind of heavy, so a lot of it, the price goes into shipping. All right, moving along, we have 2 smoked, let's see the official name, Frosted Smoke with white pips. I love frosted dice. Right here, there's these 2D6. You probably can't really see it. Frosted dice have like a film on them that looks like they're frosted or snowy, and then as you use them, the film kind of comes off and then it becomes like more translucent. So that's why I really like these dice. I don't even know if you can get these anymore like new. I don't know if that's the particular like style for dice. Dice kind of go through phases, which is interesting. ChessX does a lot of them. Is this by ChessX? Oh, I can't tell. No, it just says made in Germany. All right, this sold for $15. These are really cool. All right, next up, we have a lot of combo orders. So like 4 different little, these are called muscle machines, police department particular like category. So we have a 29 Ford Model A right there. We have a 50 Ford Woody right here. We have a 57 Chevy right here. I don't know anything about the cars. I'm just reading the bottom of the title. We got a bunch of these recently. 57 Plymouth Fury. These all sold as a combo for $44, which is pretty cool. 11 a piece. I'm pretty happy with that. The diecast car lots and all the stuff we bought from the person who flipped storage units has actually been adding up. We were kind of iffy about it at first, but I guess the numbers I've been keeping track of it have been going up and up. All right, right here is a lot of 4 Star Wars Destiny dice right here. This is going to be a Star Wars game where you have a deck of cards and you have some dice. I think the dice represent characters and or weapons. I only played it once for like 30 minutes, but you're trying to, I think, reduce their life points down to 0 or something. I don't know how much you start with, but it is like a dueling card dice game. These are just like 4 different characters, so they might have to get the cards on their own or whatever, or I think you match them up with different cards. I'm not 100% sure. These end up selling for $5. I get like a bunch of those. They kind of had like an interesting like launch and then failure. So they launched and then they didn't have enough product for people, so it took them a long time to catch up. And I think when they finally caught up with enough product, people had immensely already moved on to other collectible games and stuff. There's a lot in the card world, dice world, miniatures, board games, video games. So like I think they lost people's attention, but like people can still play, and it's cool that someone can like $5 for like a bunch of little dice and to actually play the game is pretty cool. All right, and then the last thing for the day is going to be a lot of, did I grab it? These are 8 vintage 1960s plastic toy helmets. I wasn't really sure what they were with. It was with the, if you see the video quickly, where I go through a big tub of like marks, MPC, and other stuff. So these are going to go to something the person knows. I did as many keywords as I could. I did a measuring tape on them, so they're measured. So they're going to be excited. This is to a repeat buyer for $12. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope you're going to have a good week. I'm going to have to go around and turn it off real quick. It's just me recording. So yeah, everyone have a good one. Thank you.